for me, or this is for me?
No, that was for Matthew. Matthew, go ahead.
Yeah. So this Prime Minister and the BJP has been completely rejected by the people of India. If you look at 303, they have lost 92 seats which they had the previous time, and they have gained 32 seats new. Out of that, 19 came from Odisha, which was an anti-incumbency against it. So they have only gained 13 new seats. So basically, they have been rejected by the people to a large extent, and they have formed a coalition government. The second thing is the Prime Minister of India lacks the courage and lacks intellectual integrity within himself to address. And I would rather advise his advisors who's arranging his communication that deflecting a topic is not a courageous position. It is you're answerable to the country by not answering the NEET issues, by not answering the NEET UGC issues, by not answering the NEET PG issues. The Prime Minister has shown or communicated that there is something wrong with his government. Had he said that in the parliamentary meeting today that there are some issues with the NEET exams, at least a consideration would have gone from the public to see that, okay, there is some problem with the government and the government is doing something about it. Now, by deflecting it completely, the Prime Minister has admitted in the parliament that there is something wrong with the political party who is in collusion with the people. That's exactly what they're doing in Manipur also. In the last 13 months, they have not talked about Manipur. Let's not talk about 50 years.
Louder than words. But Matthew Anthony, actions speak louder than words. Fact is that the NTA chief has been sacked. Fact is that a CBI inquiry has been instituted.
Who controls CBI, Shreya?
So the government has done what the government could do.
Who controls the CBI?
But this is what the students wanted. What is this? First, the opposition says CBI inquiry. Now CBI inquiry has been instituted. Matthew Anthony, you are saying who controls the CBI? You'll have to trust some institution, na?
Let me complete, Shreya. So, 1.4 crores of people, including the parents of the family, of the students, and all of the people are affected. The Prime Minister has got every time to comment, even the smallest things are happening outside the country. But doesn't he have any moral responsibility to comment or to even kind of, say that to the students that, I'm giving an assurance that nothing will go wrong, because one academic year is in question. A lot of money is in question. A lot of trust is in question. Why is the Prime Minister staying away from communicating on this? And we have the president of Manipur also. We have, the train accidents. When something goes wrong, the Prime Minister just stays away from it. And when something comes right, then he immediately jumps into it. That's exactly what we are questioning. And we are also questioning, the past 10 years of silence from the Prime Minister and the misgovernance. We say that this Prime Minister and Modi is a complete failure in governance and administration. And it's only his rhetoric which is working, to the people. Apart from that, there is no administration and there is no governance.
Okay, Matthew Anthony, but there is rhetoric working even when the opposition is concerned. Ghanshyam Tiwari, come in here. It is all very, carrying the constitution when the campaigning was on, pulling it out at every rally. I understand that. There is some degree of drama that a poll rally requires you do it. But now you have come to parliament. Where is the need to keep waving the constitution of India at the Prime Minister? What are you doing? You are essentially ensuring that the battle lines are drawn.
Good evening, Shah, to you, the viewers and fellow co-panelists. And I want to congratulate everyone in the country that today is the commencement of the 18th Lok Sabha. A Lok Sabha that will make a historic, fresh beginning in some way to ensure that Parliament becomes the hallmark of good debates for the country, where the interests of the people are discussed rather than the hype and propaganda and cheerleading of a Prime Minister who would not show up. Now, the question is, why the Constitution in the Parliament? There are three reasons for that. If you look at last 10 years under this government, with Mr. Modi having full majority, there have been more Sundays than number of sittings in the Parliament. If you look at the parliamentary track records, one would imagine that Prime Minister Modi, who people say is a great orator, who likes to speak, does multiple rallies in a day, would have been a more outspoken Prime Minister than, say, Dr. Manmohan Singh. But the reality, as the press media published it, is that in the last 10 years, the Prime Minister has, on an average, spoken only 3 times in the Parliament. On an average. This is less than Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. This is even less than Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who only had 6 years in the Parliament. Third, that did you see today that this government did not demonstrate their dictatorial methods by shutting off a mic, by shutting off the camera, by moving the camera on one side or another, or they did not even remind themselves of the black blot that they have about suspending so many members of parliament. It is time that we as India, the new generation of India, sees a functioning parliament where a government that has lied through its teeth again and again on important issues is made to answer in parliament, because at least in parliament, they cannot get away with the kind of lies Prime Minister gets away usually in his TV interviews. And I can assure you, Shreya, that whether the Prime Minister's government lasts for 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year, but in this 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, you will see the Prime Minister doing multiple press conferences. He would not want to be an outgoing Prime Minister who went out without doing a single press conference. This is the power of democracy. This is the power of people. This is the power of the mandate.
Tiwari. Okay. Great. The power of the mandate is great, but one would hope that the power of the mandate would ensure that India gets a parliament that functions. Look at what has happened in the last 3-4 years. We have a parliament that simply doesn't function, where bills are bulldozed without even a decent debate over it. And these are bills that impact the lives of citizens of this country. Ghanshyam Tiwari, I want to ask you, ये poll rhetoric तो खत्म हो गया ना? Why this insistence that the Prime Minister and the BJP are bulldozing the constitution? ऐसा भाई क्या काम कर दिया? You know, as I said, poll rhetoric is one thing. On the other side, you had a fake narrative about Mangal Sutras and your money being given to Muslims. We heard this fake narrative from you as well, that the Prime Minister, if he's voted back to power, will change the constitution of India. Has the BJP or the Prime Minister said and done anything that suggests they will do it? Poll rhetoric khatam karke, why don't you start a new chapter?
Two things. Let us take the criticism against opposition that we disrupt parliament. Let's take that head on. In the last 10 years, this government had absolute majority. More than that. Did they even convene the parliament? They have the blot of lowest number of convening of parliament. When they had absolute majority. To conduct Gujarat elections when they were on shaky grounds, they postponed the parliament. This is the respect that a BJP under Narendra Modi ji with absolute majority has for parliament. That is why constitution is important. And as far as has this government done anything against the constitution, against the will of people? When they passed the black laws on farmers in Rajya Sabha, did they allow the vote division to happen? The laws to reform the criminal procedures in India, did they allow those 146 MPs to participate who were suspended? Even the questions they wanted to ask in question hour were removed. So this government was a danger to Mr. Modi, and BJP was a danger to democracy. This is a party that raised 13,000 crores in their Chandalo Dhandalo model in just 10 years. Now they are not a danger to democracy because people have shown their power. They have said that Mr. Modi may believe that he is God, but we are run by the constitution. And talking about God, we have Lord Ram. Today, the news came that the temple is already leaking. Where the Ram Lala is Virajman, there is leak. This government has to be called out, and its continuous fake promises that it has done, that has gone out to create a fake propaganda that Modi is God and that the nation is subservient. The people have reversed that propaganda.
Ghanshyam. Okay, Ghanshyam, here's the point. You have made a charge that the Ram Mandir, the Sanctum Sanctorum, is already leaking. I cannot verify that right now. I'll get my team to verify it, but we'll verify it. So far, for the moment, it's a claim that you're making.